Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio Podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined over distance by GR Dad.
Hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
Pretty good. Are we doing this by video? Is this going to be a video?
I mean, we can look at each other on video.
Video chat? A video YouTube? Are we doing YouTube?
Your face looks great.
Thank you. So does yours.
Thanks. I am in Florida. GR Dad is in Maryland, en route to British Columbia, Canada.
Correct.
The squad misses you. My arms miss you.
Van City.
Van City is
Vancouver.
Oh, did you just make that up now, or does anybody actually say that?
I have heard it said with various layers of sarcasm and irony and derision. So I don't think it's actually said seriously complimentary.
Yeah. Okay. The cocktail of the week this week is the Sexy Beast.
Sexy Beast.
Sexy Beast. So for those of you who don't super closely follow, when I run marathons, I wear a t-shirt that I had custom made. I actually have two, a long sleeve and a short sleeve, that says Sexy Beast in like big block glitter letters. And when I do that, everybody who is watching the race sees me coming and yells, Sexy Beast! And they get really excited. And
it's
awesome.
co-ed. Dudes can yell it too, and women can yell it. It just works for everyone.
Yep. Everybody. Some people are like, they look at the shirt and they're like, I can't say that. And I'm like, you can though. It's okay.
None of those words are bad. I mean, it's not, right? There's nothing inappropriate. It's just like, it's a genius. When you came up with that, it was freaking genius.
And it means for 6 hours, because that's how long it takes me to run a marathon, pretty much. People tell me I'm a sexy beast, which is real nice for my ego.
It's great. It's only good. Like
it's
just such a good t-shirt slogan thing.
Yeah, so I love it, Sexy Beast. And a friend of the squad, Lauren, messaged me this week and was like, I'm at this bar and they have a cocktail called the Sexy Beast. And honestly, it looks like I would hate it, but the name is really good. So the Sexy Beast has vodka, okay so far, peach schnapps, not my fave, melon liqueur, that's Midori, very much do not like.
Is that green? That's green.
Like fluorescent green.
Yeah.
Cranberry and orange juice, which are
Midori
fine.
makes Mountain Dew look see-through.
Oh, tame. Yeah, we've got some here. We bought it to make something, and I was like, oh no, this is very bad. So it would be brightly colored. It would be kind of fluorescent colored. Cranberry and orange juice in the melon liqueur would be like tennis ball colored, probably.
It's worth a shot just for the color, and that's a very March 17th drink. Then, if it's super green.
In the American sense, yeah. And the Americans like it's St. Patrick's Day, so then green things.
Well, yeah, that's as deep as it gets here.
Yeah.
If it's St. Patrick's Day, it's green. There's a whole thing. If you don't wear green, you get pinched.
I never got pinched.
I'm sure I may have gotten pinched, or at least I was worried about getting pinched. I had to like resort to wearing like a green tie or something.
Maybe that's just somebody wanted to pinch you.
It's possible. Things are real complicated in high school.
That is the truth.
Yeah. That was, we didn't really understand consent, so there was probably mislabeled pinching.
Yeah. But were you all boys or were you co-ed?
We were co-ed. We we had a boys' school and a girls' school, and they merged the year before I got there.
Oh, okay.
Like one end of the campus was Glen Oak, and the other end of campus was Gilmore Academy. And the year I started there in 8th grade, they started having, girls come to some of our classes and the boys go to some of their classes.
Interesting.
It was very interesting. But I'm glad it was co-ed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Was it boys or girls pinching you?
The pinching might have been before that. I don't know. It's like the threat of pinching. Who knows? I mean, I don't remember actually being pinched. The threat was bad enough. It was bad. This is terrifying. What a terrifying holiday. How am I supposed to know? So this poor German guy is like, people are wearing green. They're like, you're not wearing green. I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. What is this St. Patrick's Day? Nobody explained anything to me. The worst experience I had was coming to an American school and trying to open the goddamn locker combination. Nobody
This
told
is
me.
this
They
is
gave
a
me
trauma.
a freaking sheet with like 28, 32, 4 on it, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And they're like, it's your locker combination. They had no idea that I had no idea what even a locker was. We don't have
Yeah.
lockers in Germany. Like you just take the books you need for that. You have different classes every day, and you just take the books you need from home and bring them back home. You'll have like class for 4 hours.
Yeah. This is a trauma that JR Dad speaks about often, the locker combination trauma
I felt
of his middle
bad.
school years. I understand. I bet
Nobody
it did.
explained. Everyone laughed at me.
I wouldn't have laughed at you. I would have been the person who was like, "Here's how you work it."
Yes, because you're smart and you can think that you understand that people don't know things. That's why you're a professor.
Especially you.
Well, it's pretty obvious for me.
um
Anyway,
it,
but I wanted to say there's a movie
yeah.
called Sexy Beast in there somewhere too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Ben Kingsley's in it. I don't know. I think it's like he's a mobster or something. I never
Oh,
watched it, but it looks real dour, like
we
real
need to
sad.
watch it. I mean,
I
if I
don't
am
think
sexy
it's
beast.
I don't think it's a fun romp, but who
All right, we
knows?
got to watch the trailer at least.
Okay,
All right. In other sexy beast news, I got a charity spot in the Berlin Marathon in the fall, so we're going to
nice.
Oktoberfest.
Well, you'll have to put a das in front of your sexy beast. It has to be das sexy beast.
I'd be the sexy beast.
Mm, maybe.
You know what? They can pick whatever article they want for me.
It's
I'm
like
fine.
Nutella. There's a whole war about is it das Nutella, die Nutella? I think that's the options. Maybe some people call it der Nutella. Who knows?
It doesn't seem male. Nutella.
That has nothing to do with it in German.
Oh,
The word girl is neutral.
yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, if you're going to Oktoberfest, let us know. We'll be there.
Yeah, you'll be wearing a dirndl. I may, if I have enough beer, wear a lederhosen.
I yeah, that's right. You do have a pair of lederhosen.
Yeah, they're
I
nice.
I have a couple dirndls. I sent one to Jen Coleslaw for a Halloween party that ended up not being a costume party, so I don't think she got to wear it. But I don't know that it fits me anymore.
Dirndls are awesome.
I'm gonna
They
get a new
make
one.
everyone look good. They're
Mm-hmm.
weird combination of old fashioned and sexy.
Yep. I'm excited.
They're
Excited to get a new one.
quite underrated, or maybe appropriately rated piece of clothing.
I just want you and go to see nobody else can see. That's Brody. He's
Brody.
got his face right in front of the computer because he's like, I asked you for second dinner before we started, and you did not give it to me, and now I'm going to be here. And
In
now he's
his
leaving.
defense, he probably thinks that Remy is getting second dinner when Remy's actually getting his first dinner. There's no defense. That's not a defense. He just anxious eats at night.
Now he's like, I think I maybe need to go out. You don't. Okay, let's move on because I'm gonna have to tend to him eventually.
Fair enough.
Ready for administrative corner?
I love administrative corner.
The only thing I want to note, we don't really have any items, is that if you have not received your Guaco pin and thing that you ordered or anything else you've ever ordered, please let me know.
Yeah, we've gotten a few back where they supposedly couldn't find the address. I always wonder if they really made an effort to find the addressee. So
I
it's
will
possible.
I will reach out to you if your thing did not make it. If it got returned to us, I'll send you an email.
As they used to say in AT&T, reach out and touch someone. I don't know why that was their slogan, but it was their slogan.
You ready for dog updates?
I love short administrative corners. I'm also excited for dog updates. Yes.
Okay. The elevator is not fixed. They didn't even come last week.
No, they didn't even try. I called the day before and they said, "We don't have anyone on the calendar. We don't have you on the calendar." And I said, "Put us on the calendar." And he's like, "No, next week maybe."
So they're allegedly we're recording on Tuesday. They're allegedly coming on Thursday. Ingo was gone for a week, so I'm gonna have a lot of hopper carrying to do if they don't get the damn thing fixed.
It is almost worth like hiring someone to carry the dogs up and down.
Just
Like,
I'm gonna get a live-in strongman to
yeah,
carry the
like a
dogs.
nurse assistant or something, right? A physical assistant. Because I gotta say,
Yeah.
I've been carrying these dogs, Brody and Hopper, really. Yeah, Venk would be one arm. I could do that with one arm. And it's fine, but man, they're heavy. And it's like, this is aerobic. You guys try going up 30 stairs with an
No
80 pound
kidding.
weight, like carrying 2 sacks of potatoes. It's a workout. I probably am getting much stronger. I mean, I don't feel
I would
myself
think so.
bulking up, but I think I have gains.
Get gains.
Gains.
So we will update everyone on Thursday about the elevator. Um, that's that. So the kind of dog update is that a few people had commented after last week that there is a new surgery that they're doing, which is total elbow replacement in dogs. So Vink has had a total hip replacement, which is just like the total hip replacements that people get. And they now apparently do total elbow replacements in dogs. So there's like a fake joint and they take out the old one, they put the bionic one in there.
That's awesome.
Um, it is not super widely done, but they do it at Ohio State University Vet School, which is where a friend of the squad, Zoe, Barb Nelson's dog, Matt Nelson's childhood dog, she had her elbow dysplasia fixed at Ohio State, I believe. Um, so they do the surgery there. I think it was actually an Ohio State vet who did Vink's total hip replacement. He just came out to Maryland to do it. So we got our vet to put all of Vink's data in the referral portal. And then I guess some doctors at Ohio State review it to see if Hops is even a candidate. And then if she is, they talk to us and then we bring her in for an exam. And then like she could have the surgery as much as like the next day after that exam. But who knows? That will involve a road trip to Ohio State, dear dad.
I'm in. I'm in. Sounds good.
uh,
Columbus in the
Ohio State's
spring. Wee.
it's about as far as our house in Maryland, maybe an hour further. It's
Oh yeah, and
you
it
go a
won't be
different route, but
95 the whole way, which would be great. See
no, it'll
some
be a whole
new
yeah,
states, not the stupid
whole other interstate.
corridor that I usually go where I know like every exit at this point.
Yeah. So that would be great if they could do that for her, because then all that would resolve like her only health problem right now, which is this terrible arthritis. So I am trying to be optimistic that she will be a candidate because it would be great.
Yeah.
Um, in the meantime, her elbow like brace, orthopedic brace, is being manufactured, and today they started manufacturing her front wheel cart. So we should be getting some devices here in the next week or two that hopefully will help a bit in the meantime.
If she were Venk, it wouldn't be a problem. She is just so dramatic. Like she will dramatically faint if she doesn't completely like something.
She just
I mean,
throws
throws
herself onto the
herself to
ground.
the ground like a toddler with a tantrum.
Yep. Yep.
And it's every time I try to pick her up, she goes no and rolls on her back, which is a really awkward position to try to pick her up from.
It sure is.
She is I mean, it comes from a good place, which is her comfort, but still, her desire for comfort.
So updates coming when we get them on that. And then Ingo, so we've been having a hard time keeping track of which dogs have which vaccines.
Yeah, because we've had
And
many vets even in the Keys. We have been, with two main veterinary practices, but we also had like Hops up in Laurel a couple years ago to get vaccinated, and we've had Remy
Remy went to,
vaccinated at
yeah.
a random vet, and we haven't always. Not every vet has every record, right? So we
Yeah.
get these reminders. Yeah, so it's difficult.
So I was like, we need to make a spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet that I pictured and did eventually make has just like the dogs' names in rows and then the vaccination names in columns and then the date that they got the vaccinations in the cells. And Ingo's like, I'll get all the stuff and make a spreadsheet. And I was like, okay. So we like made a bunch of calls, we got all this stuff. And then Ingo's like, I'll send you the spreadsheet. And he sends me the most elaborate spreadsheet. It's got a tab for each dog.
Shading.
Oh, there's like little icons. There's like room for notes and
Yep.
like testing and vaccine dates
Yep.
and due dates and
Oh yeah.
like weight.
Veterinarians' home numbers. Oh yeah.
It's a full on medical record system
That's
that you
awesome.
created in Excel.
Well, I borrowed it from Excel's templates, but still,
I was like, what is this? And so I just took all the data and I put it in my tiny little like 5x5 table. And I was like, I'm just going to work with this like tiny little table that fits in one corner of the spreadsheet.
I know.
It's okay. I love what you made. It's
Mine.
just
It's
it's too
too
much
good.
work for me.
It's too good.
It's
Yeah.
it
So,
is.
you're
It
just
is
too
too good.
good. What's your biggest weakness? Well, I guess I'm just too much of a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Um, the one of the things that triggered this effort too, though, is we learned that one of our vets they board dogs sometimes, but now they require the canine influenza vaccine, which we didn't
Yep.
know was a thing. May not have been a thing before, but it certainly is a thing now. And so now we have to get, and it's 2 shots right over weeks.
Yeah, we didn't get it because usually it's just like, does your dog go to boarding or day camp or whatever? And the answer was no. And so we didn't need it. They were just at the house all the time. But now that we wanted to board, canine influenza is like super dangerous. So
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah, they can die from it.
Well, that's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always been a requirement, and we just haven't done it because we didn't board our dogs.
It's been optional. So like Old Town Pet Resort where we have boarded the dogs doesn't require it. But it's been like, if your dog's like going to day camp and stuff a lot, you might want to consider this. And we were just like, yeah, they never go there. So it's fine. But now they require it. I think there's, it goes through outbreaks,
Mm-hmm.
cycles, and it sounds like there is kind of an outbreak of it now and it's super dangerous. So
But
now
unlike
we're
some of the
getting all
other
set.
vaccines, you can't do it the day before boarding. You have to like
Mhm.
plan ahead weeks.
Yep.
So that's why we're getting all the dogs vaccinated with that. And while we're doing that, we're catching everyone up on their shots.
Yep.
I mean, and some of the shots are, do we really need a Lyme vaccine for them down in the Keys? Not really, but it's better to have it than to not.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, there's no
So
no ticks
it's
down
good.
there for. I guess there's not enough mammals.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
And
not a
they
scientist.
go in salt water and the ticks fall off anyway. So
Stupid ticks. Ticks and mosquitoes. You can have them. I love nature, but those two things, seems real. And viruses. You can also have those. They just seem very self-serving. They don't actually help anyone else.
I mean, I agree.
They're just selfish.
Okay.
Yep.
Um Great. You want to go move on to ramblings? You got any other dog
Do we
updates?
have any other dog updates? No. We keep thinking Remy's lymph nodes are big, and I guess they are, but I guess relatively they're not. This is when
Yes,
we're
they're staying the
struggling to
same.
reconcile what we feel with what the vet says.
I think we talked about this when we did Remy's oncology update.
Did we?
Yeah.
I'm
We keep
still
thinking they're big and they
I'm still
change.
struggling with it. Yeah. Both Venk and Guac have now escaped again to the neighbors recently,
Ah, yes, they have.
just because it's just too tempting and they just know the way. It's very easy to just hop on over there. Venk because she was bored, and Guac because I think he was hoping he'd get some food.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's terrifying
Yeah, they just
looking for the
leave.
dogs in the yard when they're not in the yard anymore. It's not good.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nope.
jerks.
Yeah.
And they're not even sorry.
No.
Venk's like, I'm having a great adventure. This is great. Look, everyone's petting me. Ugh.
And they're all like, Vink, we love Vink. It's
Ugh,
great when she
it's,
comes over. And we're like, God
it's
damn it.
terrible. It's
Stop.
terrible. I mean, bless Venk's heart, but she's a ding dong.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, Guac should have been on probation, but now he's acting like he's normal again. So I just have to make sure the neighbor's not over there having a ham sandwich or something.
I think they're leaving this week, so that will make it less tempting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You ready for ramblings?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, we were talking yesterday. So when we bought this house, there was a dirt patch that I think was like a little flower patch. Longtime followers of the squad will remember Jasmine
Yes, especially
rolled in it
Jasmine.
at one point after swimming and looked like a coal miner,
Looked
just
like a
came out
chimney sweep.
black.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, at some point it was clearly like they had dug out a little square. It had like a little edge around it and put like potting soil or whatever in it.
But
And
deep.
so yes, quite deep. So they could grow stuff in it. And all the dogs loved to roll in it and make mud and make a mess. So at some point we dug it out and filled it in with other stuff so the dogs wouldn't do that. And in the process, we found buried there the ashes of, I think, two cats of the former
We
owners.
think
Like
they're cats.
two bags of cremains,
Yes.
like grocery bags
Yes.
of cremains, that we hope belonged to cats and not humans. And so we brought them in the house for a while because I'm like, we got to do something with these. Like, we can't just throw them in the trash.
Right.
Um, what are we going to do? And I mean, they were in here for like a year at least, tucked
We
away,
were pretty
but
weird.
like in grocery
I was
bags.
pretty weirded out. I thought it was weird
Yeah.
that there are biological remains just buried in the yard here. It was weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and, like, every now and then I'd, like, go through they were in the cabinet, like, under the TV in our living room, but you couldn't see it. They were, like, in a bin, and occasionally I'd go in the bin for a light bulb, and
Yeah.
it'd be like, "Oh, yes, also there are
What
cremains
is
in
this
this bin."
dusty? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, we were just talking about, like, whatever happened to those, and I'm, like, 99% sure that when we were planting the areca palms on that wall of the fence, so we have 3 sides of the yard that have areca palms, and 2 of them were professionally planted, and 1 we did incrementally by ourselves over a long amount of time. And I'm almost positive that in one of the holes I dug to plant those trees, I eventually was like, you know what, I'm going to put those ashes in there, and I
The
did.
more
So
you've said that now, and the more I think about it, the more I think I remember that. We may have
yeah,
done a little ceremony or something too.
yeah. So I threw the plastic bags away because they don't need to be buried, and it's weird to like have the cremains of whatever the creature was in like just a grocery
It was
sack.
like a Publix bag, and it's not. That's not
Yeah.
formal. That's not good. So it's
Should we
better to
just
have them be part of the earth,
part of the earth?
which is what humans are doing now in some country, in like Germany, for example. You can do that.
Yeah, I'd be fine with
You
that.
can make yourself plant yourself in the forest. Plant
All right, I
yourself.
got a story for you, Ingo.
Excellent.
Moving on. This is a story that I don't know if I found it myself or if someone sent it, but it sounds like it's going to be a big dramatic story from the headline. The headline is Couple on Hawaii Honeymoon says snorkeling tour group abandoned them in the ocean.
Whoa, that sounds real
So
bad. That's
that's
movies.
literally the thing of movies.
Yes.
They're out there snorkeling, and then there's the subheading, which is Elizabeth Webster and her husband, Alexander Burkle, said they had to swim about half a mile to shore, according to the federal lawsuit.
That's not very far.
Half a mile, you guys, that's like a sprint triathlon distance. Like I when I go to the pool, a half a mile is like the minimum workout that I will do. Like it's like saying somebody had to walk 2 miles, which like it's not nothing, but it's like it's not that far. So it like presents itself as this like harrowing near death experience.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm like, there you have a news story about people who had to swim half a mile? Like that's it.
So
Um
they saw shore the whole time too. I mean, half
yes,
a
they're
mile
just like
is
out in the
even if you're
lagoon.
at eye level with the water, you can walk. You can see that far.
Yes, you absolutely
Yeah.
can. So it says a California couple honeymooning in Hawaii said a snorkeling tour group abandoned them in the ocean for more than an hour, ultimately forcing them to swim to shore. They filed a lawsuit
Ah,
against this tour group. So they go into the water at 10:50 a.m. There's 44 passengers on this
too
boat.
big.
They go into the water. The captain says you got an hour, and then we're moving on to the next spot. So at around 11:50, a full hour later, they're like, I guess we're gonna start heading back to the boat now. And now they were supposed to be back on the boat in an hour. Not that the boat should have left them, but they pushed it and made everybody wait for them like a bunch of jerks. And they're like, it took us 15 minutes of swimming, and then we weren't really making progress to the boat because the water was choppy. And then they started swimming really hard towards the boat. And then eventually, after half an hour, they're like, oh, the boat's going away. The couple signals that they were in distress and called for help in the direction of the boat to no avail. And then the boat moved on to its next location. They tried to swim after the boat, but the water was getting deeper. So let's just consider what that means.
Oh, interesting.
How deep is the water? Like if I'm out in the ocean, like the ocean out there, Do I know if the water is 20 feet deep under me versus 2,000 feet deep under
And does
me?
it matter?
I do not. I mean, I guess if I'm snorkeling, I'm looking at fish and stuff, so I guess there's like corals and things, so I sort of know how deep it is. But you float on the top of the water. It doesn't really matter how deep it is unless you can walk, in which case it's not actually that scary because you could just stand up. Like like the water getting deeper isn't actually scary because you're not following the bottom, you're staying on the
Yeah,
top.
that's weird.
Um
That's like being in a plane and saying, suddenly there was a valley underneath us, and it was terrifying.
The plaintiffs realized the vessel had left them and was not coming back, and they decided their only option for survival at that point was to return to shore. The plaintiffs were extremely fearful and nervous about this
Ugh.
decision because they were told not to swim to Lanai, which is the beach, I guess, and that shallow reefs were in the area. Listen, guys, we don't want you to swim to the beach because there are shallow reefs and you might cut yourself on a coral. The only way they thought they would survive is if they made this half-mile swim. So it was so shallow that they were warned not to do the swim. So they could have just stood up. And I don't know, they're gonna die of like starvation just standing half a mile from the shore,
It
maybe.
does. It's a clear. I mean, this is all from the lawsuit, right? So it's clearly like just engineered to sound to dress up these kind of pedestrian facts as some dramatic thing.
They are suing for negligence and emotional
I wonder how much
distress.
money they want.
Well, I
I
don't
don't
think
think they
I don't
have
think it's
real
linked in here.
damages. Like what is it was hard. It was a little bit scary.
Emotional distress. They're suing
You
for
don't.
emotional
You get.
distress.
Most states have a tort that is intentional infliction of emotional distress. If you're like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
harassing someone and making them stressed, yes, that could be a thing. But you can't just have negligent infliction of well, maybe Hawaii has it, but it just seems it just seems a little bit stretched.
I mean, look, it would suck if you're out on a snorkeling trip and the boat leaves. Like, I don't
Well,
want to say that nothing bad happened to them, but this, like, it was a near death
I
experience.
mean,
And, like, they were extremely scared they might die because they were half a mile from shore in shallow
oh,
water.
but
Not
also,
impressive.
who's checking his watch frantically if the captain says an hour? Me. Like I don't want to be
Oh,
late
yeah.
because I figure the boat might leave without me. I mean, it's
Yep.
entirely reasonable. I mean, they probably should have done a head count and been like 42. Did we? How many did we have before? 40. Who knows?
Somebody's like, they didn't count right. And, like, people were moving around. We didn't have to sit still for the count. So,
Yeah, probably. They're probably just like, looks about right. Do we see anyone else in the water? It's fine. Let's move on. I mean, we're half a mile from shore. It's fine.
no kidding. They'll be fine. They can walk up there.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready for this week in biting?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of biting news. I mean a lot of like dog biting news. Storm Lake woman arrested after allegedly hitting man with a pipe, comma, biting.
I think the hitting with
Uh
the pipe subsumed, like, you're not going to remember the biting if you also get hit with a pipe.
yeah.
Ow.
Uh this is not normally the thing of don't bite anyone unless they ask you to, but there was an alligator that bit some guy in Florida. He just like opened his front door and there was an alligator in his front yard and it chomped his leg.
I think that these are healthy stories too, because a lot of the TikToks or reels that I see with alligators are people treating them with a way lack of respect and getting way too close to
Well,
them. So I think a little chompiness is not bad. Remind people that
yeah, well,
alligators are.
this alligator died and go.
Why?
They euthanized. They used to euthanized it.
It's too bad. I think it's terrible. But people,
They usually don't do that. They usually just move the gators. But woman accused of punching Allegheny Valley hospital guard, biting second one.
ow, no,
She punched him in the head, punched the security guard in the head, and bit another guard's arm. Let's end with this
stop
one.
biting. The human teeth aren't designed for that kind of biting. Stop it.
A New Kensington woman is accused of repeatedly punching an Allegheny Valley hospital security guard in the head and biting another guard's arm when they tried to calm her after she became combative in the emergency room.
I wonder if they told her to calm down, because that always works.
You know what? You should never tell
Somebody tells
anybody
me that, I think I'm biting them, actually. If I'm like, I'm stressed, and they go, have you tried calming down? Have I tried biting you in the face?
The security guard told police Cox pulled a chunk of her hair from her scalp and punched her in the side of the head several times, breaking her prescription eyeglasses. Police said the other security guard had an oval-shaped bite mark on his forearm that broke the skin. At least they were already in the emergency room, so.
Bleh. Don't bite anyone.
All right, Ingo. Unless I ask you to. It's time for Taste of the Keys, and you're in charge of it this week.
Well, Taste of the Keys was, we had the annual, I think it's an annual, conch blowing competition.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
some guy won because he put some holes in a conch so he could play slightly more notes. And he played Jimmy Buffett's fins. Fins to the left of me, fins to the right.
Yep.
Something, something, sharks circling, blah, blah, blah.
Sit down, stand up, fight, fight, fight.
I don't think maybe that's what he played.
Fins to the left.
So I read about
fins
this,
to the right.
and some couple won, and some couple had a dance, sang along with it, and then someone won the conch blowing because she's just very loud. And I read about it, and it sounded cool and quirky, and I was like, oh, this is great, whimsical. And then I saw a video of it, and they're not that good.
No, it's just a loud, buzzy note.
It's not a good instrument, actually. It turns out it's just not very, mellifluous. I mean, I'd take a harmonica over a conch, after all. But there are people who are into blowing into it, and it was less pleasant than I would have thought. Even all the renditions needed a little help. Yeah. It just shows that it's a small community, and we reward people who try.
That's right. It's nice.
This is not New York, where people are mean to people who try. We're nice to people who try. So, conch blowing. There you go.
What's the German word of the week?
It's a specialized word.
Ooh.
Ausschlagen, or schlägt aus, and it means
to hit it out.
Sort of, to beat out, to punch out, basically. If you were like, it sort of evokes someone being in a paper bag and punching their way out or something, which is what you can't do. But it refers to plants in the springtime when they grow new leaves and new branches. Like it just, you say, and there are puns about it, right? Aber der Baum schlägt aus, which means he's hitting out, which sounds like he's punching someone, but he's actually just growing new branches. But it does evoke this idea that there's just this violent explosion or expansion of these bushes or plants and flowers.
Yeah.
Ausschlagen.
Ausschlagen. I like it.
Ausschlagen. Yeah, I don't know exactly what the biological term is in English, but what trees do in the springtime, that's what it is.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time for Ingo Corner. You got anything?
I'm using Amazon less. This is my old man rant. If I can do this,
it's Ingo Corner. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, they went away from Amazon. They shut down Amazon Smile, which was justifying it for me.
Yep.
And they used to deliver fast, relatively fast, even to the Keys. And now it seems like all my Amazon orders take 2 weeks, and that's not special. I can order directly from places and get stuff too. So in that vein, I'm using them less. Do I still have a subscription? Yes, because it's not the Stone Age,
right?
But I don't feel like they deliver as much value as they did even 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm using them less.
Okay.
Make of that what you will.
Indeed.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks for listening. Next week, I think we'll be back together for podcast time.
Yay!
So until next time, Slava Ukraini, and don't bite anyone unless they ask you to.
Just don't bite anyone unless they ask you to, yes.
Bye.
Bye.